There are moments when God speaks with urgency, and this is one of them. A divine shift is unfolding, and it carries a message only the chosen will recognize. Saturday is not just another day, it marks a spiritual turning point. What you hear now could prepare you for what's about to be revealed. Don't ignore this call, because obedience in this moment matters more than ever. There are moments in life when everything aligns according to God's perfect timing, and this is one of those moments you cannot afford to overlook. What is unfolding on Saturday is not random, nor is it coincidence. It is divinely orchestrated with precision that only God Himself can design. As one of God's chosen ones, you are being positioned in a specific place at a specific time to receive something that has already been prepared for you long before now. Even if things have felt delayed, confusing, or out of order in your life, this is a reminder that God's timing is never late and never early. It is always exact. You may have gone through seasons where nothing seemed to make sense, where doors closed unexpectedly, and where you questioned whether you were truly on the right path. But what you could not see was God aligning circumstances behind the scenes, removing what no longer served His purpose for your life, and arranging what is necessary for your next step. Saturday represents a moment where many of those unseen preparations begin to come into view. It may not appear dramatic at first, but spiritually something significant is shifting. God often works in ways that require your awareness and sensitivity. This is not just about waiting for something to happen, it is about recognizing the moment when it arrives. Divine timing demands readiness. If your heart is open and your spirit is attentive, you will notice the signs, the opportunities, and even the subtle nudges guiding you in the right direction. Missing this moment is not about punishment, but about the possibility of overlooking something meant specifically for you. There is also a sense of urgency attached to divine timing. When God sets a moment into motion, it carries purpose and intention that cannot be replicated in the same way again. Saturday holds a unique alignment of events, decisions, and spiritual movements that are interconnected. What you choose to do, how you respond, and whether you choose to listen will all play a role in how this unfolds in your life. This is a time to quiet distractions, to step away from doubt, and to trust that God knows exactly what He is doing. Even if you do not fully understand what is about to happen, your faith is what connects you to the outcome God has prepared. Divine timing is not something to fear, it is something to trust completely. There are times when God chooses to reveal things that have been hidden, not to everyone, but specifically to those who are spiritually attentive. This moment carries that kind of revelation, the message that is now unfolding is not obvious on the surface. It is something deeper, something that requires discernment and a willing heart to truly understand. As one of God's chosen ones, you are not meant to walk blindly. You are meant to perceive what others may overlook. This hidden message has likely been building over time in your life. You may have sensed that something was different, that certain patterns, thoughts, or signs were trying to point you in a direction, but you couldn't fully piece it together. That is because not everything is revealed all at once. God often unfolds His plans in layers, allowing you to grow into the understanding rather than overwhelming you with everything at once. What is being revealed now is part of that process coming together. Sometimes the message comes quietly. It may not be a loud or dramatic moment, but rather a strong inner knowing, a sudden clarity, or even a confirmation through something small yet meaningful. It could come through a conversation, a thought that feels guided, or a situation that suddenly makes sense in a new way. The key is not how the message appears, but whether you are ready to receive it. It's important to understand that not everyone will recognize or understand this revelation. What is hidden to some is made clear to others, and that difference often comes down to spiritual awareness and openness. You may find that others dismiss what you feel strongly about, or they may not see the significance of what you're experiencing. That does not make it any less real. In fact, it often confirms that the message is meant personally for you. There is also a responsibility that comes with receiving a hidden message. Once something is revealed, you are no longer in the same place of uncertainty. You are given insight for a reason. Whether that insight leads you to take action, change direction, or simply prepare yourself mentally and spiritually, it is not without purpose. Ignoring it may cause confusion, while embracing it can bring clarity and direction. This is a moment to be still and attentive, Remove distractions, quiet your mind, and allow yourself to truly listen. The message may already be closer than you think, waiting for you to acknowledge it. What is hidden is not meant to stay hidden forever. It is being brought into your awareness at the exact time you are ready to receive it. There are moments when your spiritual awareness is not just important, it is being tested. This is one of those times. It's not always about what you can see with your eyes, but what you can sense within your spirit. God often allows situations to arise where your ability to discern, to pause, and to truly understand what is happening beneath the surface becomes crucial. This test is not meant to confuse you, but to strengthen your connection with Him and sharpen your spiritual sensitivity. You may begin to notice subtle shifts, things that don't feel quite the same, patterns that seem unusual, or moments where your intuition feels stronger than usual. These are not coincidences. They are invitations to pay closer attention. Your awareness is being stretched beyond the physical, calling you to rely more on faith and less on what is immediately visible. This can feel uncomfortable, especially if you are used to clear answers and direct paths. But growth in the spiritual realm often happens in these uncertain spaces. Distractions will likely increase during this time. You may find yourself pulled in different directions with noise, doubt, or even other people's opinions trying to cloud your focus. This is part of the test. Staying grounded, calm, and connected to God despite these distractions is what defines your awareness. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional in where you place your attention and what you choose to believe. There may also be moments where you are required to trust what you feel, even if it doesn't make complete sense yet. Spiritual awareness often comes before full understanding. You might sense that something is right or wrong, that a decision needs to be made, or that a shift is necessary, without having all the details. This is where faith and awareness work together. Trusting that inner guidance is part of stepping into the level God is calling you to. This test is not about failure, it's about refinement. Each moment of awareness, each time you choose to listen instead of ignore, strengthens your ability to recognize God's voice in life. It prepares you for greater responsibility, clearer direction, and deeper alignment with His purpose for you. What you are experiencing right now is shaping how you respond, not just in this moment, but in what comes next. Stay alert, stay prayerful, and stay open. Your spiritual awareness is being elevated, and how you respond during this time will determine how clearly you can see what God is placing in front of you. There are moments when what God is asking from you is simple, yet the weight of it carries eternal significance. This is one of those moments where obedience becomes the defining factor in what follows. It's not always about grand gestures or dramatic actions. Sometimes obedience is quiet, personal, and even unseen by others. But in God's eyes, it is never small. Every step you take in alignment with His guidance is shaping the path ahead in ways you may not fully understand yet. You may feel a nudge to do something specific, to step back from a situation, direction, or to let go of something you've been holding on to. These instructions might not always make logical sense, and they may even challenge your comfort zone. That's where obedience is tested. It's easy to follow when everything is clear and convenient, but true obedience shows itself when you choose to trust God beyond your own understanding. There is also a connection between obedience and outcomes. What unfolds next in your life is not random, it is influenced by the choices you make right now. When you respond in alignment with God's direction, you open doors that were already prepared for you. When you resist or delay, you may find yourself facing confusion, setbacks, or missed opportunities. This is not about punishment, but about alignment. God's plan moves forward, but your experience of it depends on how closely you walk in step with Him. At times, obedience requires courage. It may mean standing firm when others don't understand you, making decisions that feel risky, or trusting a path that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. You might feel alone in those moments, but you are not. God sees every act of faith, every decision to listen rather than ignore, and every step you take in trust. Those choices are building something greater than what you can see right now. It's also important to recognize that delayed obedience can feel like disobedience in its impact. When God places something on your heart, there is often a reason for the timing. Waiting too long, overthinking, or allowing fear to take control can cause you to miss the moment that was meant for you. That's why this is a time to act with clarity and confidence, even if the full picture isn't visible yet. This moment is about trust in action. It's about choosing to follow even when you don't have all the answers. Your obedience right now is not just about today, it is directly connected to what is about to unfold next in your life. There are moments when change doesn't arrive gradually, it comes suddenly, shifting everything in ways you didn't expect. This is one of those times where a powerful shift is approaching, and it may catch many off guard. What you have been experiencing lately, the tension, the uncertainty, the feeling that something is about to happen, is not without reason. It is often the sign that something significant is preparing to move into place. A sudden shift can look different for everyone. For some, it may be an unexpected opportunity, a door opening where there was once a wall. For others, it could be the closing of something familiar, making way for something new that aligns better with God's plan. These changes may feel abrupt, but they are not random. They are part of a divine realignment, positioning you exactly where you need to be for what comes next. What makes these shifts challenging is that they don't always come with advance notice. You might not have time to overthink or prepare in the way you normally would. That's why your spiritual readiness matters so much in this moment. Being grounded in faith allows you to respond with clarity instead of fear. Without that grounding, sudden changes can feel overwhelming or even unsettling. It's also important to understand that not every shift will feel comfortable. Growth often requires movement, and movement can bring discomfort. You may be pushed out of routines, relationships, or environments that once felt secure. But what feels like disruption can actually be direction. God sees the bigger picture, and what He is moving you toward is greater than what you are being moved away from. There is also a sense of acceleration tied to this shift. Things that once moved slowly may begin to unfold quickly. Decisions may need to be made faster. Opportunities may come and go in a short window, and clarity may arrive all at once. This is not meant to pressure you, but to align you with the pace of what God is doing. Staying attentive and responsive will help. Move with this shift rather than feel left behind by it. This is not a time to resist change, but to embrace it with faith. Even if you don't fully understand why things are happening the way they are, trust that there is purpose behind every movement. The shift that is approaching is not here to harm you, it is here to reposition you for something greater that is already on its way. There are moments when God's protection becomes more active and intentional in ways you may not immediately recognize. This is one of those times where protection is not just present, it is being strengthened around you. As one of God's chosen ones, you are not left exposed or unguarded. Even in moments when you feel uncertain or vulnerable, there is a covering over your life that is working quietly but powerfully. You may have already experienced situations where something didn't go the way you expected, and at the time it felt disappointing or confusing. But looking back, you might realize that what happened was actually protecting you from something you couldn't see. Closed doors, delays, and even sudden changes can sometimes be forms of divine protection. They redirect you away from harm and guide you toward what is truly meant for you. This activation of protection also means that certain things or people may begin to distance themselves from your life. Not everything that leaves is a loss, sometimes it is a necessary separation. God removes what could interfere with your purpose or bring negativity into your path. While it may feel uncomfortable or even painful in the moment, it is part of safeguarding your future. There is also a call for you to be aware and cooperative with this protection. Pay attention to your instincts, to the subtle warnings or feelings that something isn't right. These are not random thoughts, they are often part of how God communicates with you. Ignoring them can put you in situations that were never meant for you, while listening to them keeps you aligned with the protection being placed over your life. At times, protection may not look dramatic. It can be quiet, almost unnoticed, working behind the scenes in ways you may never fully see. You won't always know what you were saved from, and that's part of trusting God's plan. Not every detail is meant to be revealed, but every act of protection carries purpose. This is a moment to trust that you are being watched over more closely than you realize. Even if challenges arise, it does not mean you are unprotected, it means you are being guided through them safely. Stay grounded in faith, remain aware, and understand that this protection is not temporary. It is part of God's ongoing presence in your life, ensuring that you move forward in alignment with His purpose. There are moments in life that carry a deeper meaning, but not everyone will be able to recognize or understand what is truly happening. This is one of those moments. What you are sensing, what you are experiencing, and what is beginning to unfold is not meant for everyone to grasp. As one of God's chosen ones, you are being given a level of awareness that others around you may not share, and that can feel isolating at times. You may try to explain what you feel or what you believe is happening, only to be met with doubt, confusion, or even dismissal. People might not see the significance of what you're noticing, and some may even question your perspective. This can make you second-guess yourself, but it's important to remember that not everyone is meant to understand your journey. Different people are at different levels of spiritual awareness, and that difference can create a gap in perception. There is a reason why this moment is not widely understood. What God is doing in your life is personal and specific. It is tailored to your path, your growth, and your purpose. If everyone could easily see and interpret it, it would lose the depth and meaning it holds for you. This is not about exclusion. It is about alignment. You are being shown what you need to see at the time you are meant to see it. It's also important to be mindful of who you share your thoughts and experiences with during this time. Not every space is safe for something that is still unfolding. Speaking too soon or to the wrong people can lead to unnecessary doubt or negativity. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is hold on to what you've been shown and allow it to develop fully before seeking validation from others. This does not mean you are alone. Even if others don't understand, God does. The connection you have with Him is what matters most in this moment. Trusting that connection will give you the confidence to move forward without needing constant reassurance from those around you. This is a time to stand firm in what you feel.